Hello guys, Trent Cotchin here from Posisocks, and obviously the captain of the Richmond Footy Club. Some of you may love your footy, some may have no interest at all, but what I'm really excited about is the opportunity to sit here in front of you today. I would love to have been there in person, but clearly with the circumstances in the AFL and COVID, the challenging year that it's been to date, I can't be. I was so excited to hear about your school, but particularly your year levels proactivity in creating open spaces for you to have conversations. I just wanted to acknowledge that I can't imagine being a 16, 17-year-old and having to go through some of the amazing challenges that you guys have this year. Having kids of my own who are only young now, in nearly 1, 4 and 6, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and as a community having to go through losing someone to such horrible circumstances is something that I can't fathom, and I think it's just amazing that as a school and as a group you guys have come together and really got proactive in creating conversations that allow people to share how they're going with the struggles, but also the positive things as well. And I'm just incredibly grateful to sit here and be a part of your journey as a group to make a difference. Upon reflection, as a 17-year-old myself, I think back to me being a young man wanting to make my way in life, clearly football being a big part of that, but also just adulthood coming up, getting to the back end of my school years, and these are some of the greatest times in my memories. And I suppose, whether I think about my 17-year-old self or even, as short a time ago as 2016, which was probably my most challenging year personally, and a time where I had my most negative thoughts and didn't truly believe in myself or know my worth. The lessons are all the same, and I always felt that I had to do everything alone, and I couldn't burden anyone else with the struggles that were going in my life, whether that be football or having our second daughter came along in that year. I didn't want to burden my wife, my family, the footy club with anything that I was struggling with. But what I've realised, and now something that is actually on one pair of our socks, is that a problem shared is a problem halved, and it's so true. Sharing is powerful. It also takes the weight off your shoulders. They talk about shame or anxiety owning you until you actually let it out, and once you do, it's amazing how much help you actually realise you have right there, that maybe you didn't know you did. So one of my greatest lessons has been just to share, no matter how you're feeling, no matter how silly you feel. I think there's real power in it, not just for you personally, but it also gives people permission to actually share how they're going as well. And once we create that conversation, as human beings, we crave the connection, and it's amazing what stems from that. At the Richmond Football Club, I think one of our greatest strengths now is vulnerability and being willing to share how we're going, and thinking about our situation right now in hub life, and some guys leaving families behind, partners, girlfriends, jobs. The best thing that's happening right now is that guys are willing to share exactly how they're feeling, and I think that's having a real impact on the positivity of the group and people being able to deal with it in different ways, especially the ones that are back home. And so that'd be my number one thing, is that I take my hat off to you guys for creating an environment where you can share and feel like you have permission to share, because typically at a 17-year-old male, it's a sign of weakness, but the truth is that it's a sign of courage. So I applaud you for that. Which takes me to my journey. Posisocks was effectively an idea born out of a lot of the lessons that I learned through 2016 and 2017, and I really wanted to understand a lot of the simple messages that I had learned and started to implement into my life, how we could have a greater reach on society and give people an opportunity to effectively do something, a trigger that effectively, when you put your socks on in the morning, which is one of the first things I do every day. Clearly in summer it's hard with a pair of thongs, but reading a quote that has some sort of significance to your life, or allows you to reflect, or at least just set your day up, I've found really impact my life, and it's something that I encourage my wife and kids and anyone close to me to do. And along with that is the gratitude or the the piece about thinking about someone else. So what is something you can do for someone else today, or what is something that you can do to make a difference? And it's the more we focus on others, the better we are ourselves, and you'll feel that it's quite rewarding. But in saying that, clearly positivity can be challenging at different times, and there's so many pressures as a VCE student going into what is deemed as such important years of your life. But let me tell you from experience, I love my time at school, and I highly encourage you to do your absolute best, but don't put too much pressure on yourself, because the reality is there's a number of different doors and opportunities that will arise if you don't happen to get that score or that mark or that grade that you are expecting of yourself, because it's the best thing to do is actually replace the expectation with appreciation and be grateful for what you have. So that leads me to obviously the gift that you're receiving today. I'm really excited about you receiving Posisocks product, and hopefully in some way, shape or form it impacts your life in a positive manner. And we really look forward to seeing or hearing how it does impact you. It may be something really small, it may be something really grand, it may be a conversation that it creates with a friend, but feel free to share it on social media. We love hearing about the stories. That's been the thing I've been most humbled by, is the emails and messages of appreciation for what it's done for people in their lives, and we look forward to hearing more and working with you more in the future. Good luck with your journey, stay safe and take care of yourself, and more importantly, others.